That takes us to Indiana, which I think everyone agrees right now has gone from, a team that made the playoffs last year, lost in the first round. They were building all these young pieces, of course, Caitlin Clark, to now an immediate contender with all the moves that they.
Sue Bird didn't hold back. When she saw the hype surrounding the Indiana Fever's title chances, she made it clear, slow down, everyone. Caitlin Clark has the talent, but championships aren't won through social media buzz or viral dances. Let's break down the real talk and bold takes.
One that, for most people, took it to another level. So now you're like, oh, they're a contender.
Sue Bird just sent shockwaves through the WNBA with one bold take. And no, this wasn't some casual, oh, the Fever might be decent remark. Nope, she went all in, declaring that Indiana isn't just improving, they're legitimate title contenders.
I'm sure the way they're approaching this season has changed. I think the biggest part of DB joining this team is that she's already played for Steph. So I think that's going to help bridge the gap, because as we go along, we're going to talk about Vegas and Seattle, Atlanta. It's really going to be which
Stephanie
team.
White being the head coach.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Was the head coach of Connecticut, now the head coach of Indiana.
Yeah.
Take a moment to let that sink in. This is Sue Bird we're talking about, a walking basketball encyclopedia. A legend who has played, won, and outsmarted defenses at the highest level for 2 decades. She's seen super teams, she's been on them. She knows exactly what it takes to win championships. So when she makes a statement like this, it's not for clicks or entertainment. It's because she sees something real.
Sue Bird is one of the greatest point guards of all time in the WNBA. And she's someone who obviously is a part owner in the Seattle Storm. So hyping up another team is a bit of a conflict of interest, if we're being honest.
Sue Bird just elevated them to the big leagues. She's telling the rest of the WNBA, hey, pay attention. This team isn't just exciting. They're here to shake up the season. And honestly, she's probably right. Because this isn't just about Caitlin Clark. Yeah, Caitlin is a game changer, a player who can drain shots from the parking lot like it's nothing. But if you think Sue's hype is only about Caitlin, you don't understand how her basketball mind works. Sue sees the foundation. She sees a team that's been grinding, building something serious, especially since Caitlin arrived.
To you about the experience, the champions that have been added to this one.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what everybody talked about when we were in the playoffs last year of, we really didn't have much experience at all playing in playoff games. I don't know what the exact number was, but we really lacked in that area. So just adding pieces of, players that have been in this league, they know what it takes to win, they know what it takes to get to the finals, they know what it takes to win championships, I think is exactly what we needed in our locker room. So it's just exciting, but also they're not only really good basketball players, they're really great leaders and really great people. And I know the front office obviously really prioritized that and looking for the pieces that we wanted to add. So really thankful for that.
Let's be clear. Sue Bird doesn't throw around the words title contender for fun. This is a woman who built her entire career on smart decisions. On the court, off the court, with her words, with her passes. If she says Indiana has something special, she's not guessing. She's telling you what's coming. Now, of course, nothing is guaranteed. Nobody wins a championship in February. But what Sue is saying, and what people need to hear, is that Indiana isn't just a fun young team. They aren't here just to develop. They're here to win. They're here to compete for something real. And that should terrify the rest of the league. Because the scariest thing in sports isn't just talent. It's talent with belief. It's talent with momentum. It's talent that's been told, you're not ready yet, and responds with, actually, we are. Sue Bird sees that belief growing in Indiana, and she knows exactly how dangerous that can be.
Kelsey Mitchell's balling, Caitlin continuing to impress, and she's going to break records nonstop for the next couple of years. Yeah. It's just going to be a constant record.
Let's consider Charles Swoop's argument that genuine talent never opts for Indiana. That viewpoint is starting to sound like a tired, overplayed hot take with all the drama of a recurring soundtrack. In reality, players from against all odds are choosing Indiana. They want to be part of the scene, and it's clear why. Caitlin Clark. She's the marquee player, the main attraction.
Indiana Fever team.
They getting paid anyway?
That are no, but players who will be free agents next year. There's a lot of other going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Indiana is no longer a neglected, struggling franchise. It's building something substantial. When a respected voice like Sue Bird says this team is about to become a serious contender, players across the league take notice. Sue isn't just offering empty praise. She doesn't make these comments lightly. When she speaks, it's because she sees real potential. What she observes is a team that isn't waiting for success. They're actively pursuing it. Look at their strategy. They're not solely relying on Caitlin Clark to carry the team. Instead, they've been thoughtfully assembling complementary pieces that work together, all with a plan designed to let Caitlin Clark truly showcase her talent.
And yeah, there's a narrative out there that Kathy made the call. All right, Kathy Engelbert. Oh, we got to make sure we get Caitlin Clark the championship. And I told you there's narrative floating. Number one, they're freaking out. Number two, the next thing you're about to hear is Caitlin Clark needs a super team to win a championship. So they're going to downgrade her status, and they're going to shit on her over that. It's already started. That's where they're going.
Free agents are now viewing Indiana in a completely new light. It's not just a spot to lob minutes. It's a destination where you can actually win, perform on national TV before a growing audience, and play alongside an emerging young core that's only going to improve. That's exactly what Sue Bird has been emphasizing. She sees what's coming, even if many initially refused to acknowledge it until reality hit hard. Indiana has shifted from being a WNBA afterthought to becoming one of the league's most discussed teams, not because of empty hype, but due to solid basketball fundamentals. Sue Bird recognizes this upward trajectory. She sees a team that isn't simply hoping for greatness, but is actively working for it. So, for anyone still doubting the Fever or clinging to the idea that Indiana isn't a real destination, especially in light of Caitlin Clark's rise, it might be time to rewrite that narrative. What do you mean?
What do you mean Sydney Colson is joining the Indiana Fever? What does that mean? Indiana is just being so fucking greedy right now. They took DB, they took Natasha. Now they got Sydney Colson. Like, why would they take Sydney from us?
Sue Bird isn't merely assessing the Fever's roster. She's evaluating the entire strategic blueprint. One critical element that many seem to miss is the hiring of Stephanie White, who is precisely the right coach for this moment. This appointment isn't a random experiment or a let's see if it works gamble. Stephanie White has been in similar situations before. She knows how to manage talent, set clear expectations, and, most importantly, secure wins. Moreover, having previously coached Dana Bonner, she has already established a strong working rapport. White understands how to bring out Bonner's best, integrating her seamlessly into a system that amplifies the strengths of the existing team. Bonner isn't just any player. She's experienced, versatile, and consistently poses challenges for opposing defenses. With a coach who knows exactly how to utilize her skills, alongside the contributions of Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's title race is not merely a dream. It's becoming a reality.
So it's really going to be the team that finds their chemistry. This season is short. I mean, they're adding games, but it's still pretty short season.
Short, yeah, still short.
And it's
Still
going to be
just
the
the summer.
team that finds chemistry. So having Stephanie White there, having already coached DB.
What the Indiana Fever did last night got me so excited. The Fever, if you haven't been paying attention, they are really active in ensuring that Caitlin Clark and company have a true contending lineup next season. They have Caitlin Clark, they have Aaliyah Boston. They made sure that they re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. That was a big one. They acquired both Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner. They traded for Sophie Cunningham. They still have Lexi Hull. And now they have made a move that is literally my favorite of WNBA free agency. They have signed Sydney Colson, face of the WNBA. If you know...
Sophie Cunningham is there to be basically the enforcer. She played a lot of the 5 at Phoenix. She literally played 1 through 5. She guarded 1 through 5 at Phoenix. There is maybe a not more versatile glue player in the WNBA than Sophie Cunningham. There are better players, there are more versatile players, but no more versatile glue players in 100k a year than Cunningham. She's almost a one of a kind in what she does.